OK, Zoe, to make the curry laksa, I'm going to start by softening up the noodles.
Hang on. Just before we get started, what is going on here? Because that is not one pot.
Well, it sort of is because I've got to heat the noodles up, so I've got a pot of water.
OK.
However,
kettle?
Your kettle.
There we go. OK, that's one gone. We're down to 2. What about the other one?
Well, normally I'd have the stock in a jug, but, you know, I was still cooking the stock. I was running a little bit behind, but I could have put it in a jug. Now, if you can pass me that bowl over there, that one bowl, there we go, in go the noodles like that. Normally, people would heat up their hot water in a kettle, but I put salt in this water, and it's not a good idea to put salt in your kettle.
This is true.
Now, the trick with these noodles is to pour the boiling water straight over the top of it, and then let it sit there for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I've got a big fork there. After the 3 or 4 minutes, you just sort of break it apart and loosen it up a little bit.
That's a mighty fork.
It is, and that's enough to sort of cook the noodles. Now, to start with, I'm going to get, if you're going to grab your knife there, give that lemongrass a bit of a bash, and I've got this onion here. I'm going to give it a fine little dice like that. There we go, with the back of the knife there. That's perfect. And if you can also grab some kaffir lime leaves out for me, Zoe, just grab 2 or 3 of them out.
I love to have homemade stock. I mean, you know, it's very funky right now. It's called bone broth, but really it's just stock. But it is obviously, it intensifies the flavour of food. Nutrition-wise, it's great.
But, you know, you can just make a regular stock on the stove. Now, my onion, my garlic and my lemongrass, my ginger, and I'm leaving my ginger really chunky like this.
And was that enough kaffir lime leaf?
That's about enough. Great. OK, throw them straight in there like that.
And they just smell so good.
It does, doesn't it? There we go.
Beautiful, beautiful.
A little bit of extra virgin olive oil in there to get it all going. And I'll turn this up because we want to start frying the onions off. Now, there we go. Now, if you can grab some of that Thai basil, Zoe, and pull it apart for me, what I'm going to do is grab some of this chilli here, and I think we're going to have a hot and spicy today, do you think?
Yes, please.
So what I'll do is I'll just take the cap off there like that, and I'll just slice the chilli all the way through here like this into nice big rounds. And you can hear the sizzle in this pan. We know this is going to be a great curry laksa.
And laksa is definitely one of those things that, I mean, when you do buy it at a lot of the Asian restaurants or Thai restaurants, there's a lot of MSG, there's a lot of salt in it. It's so simple to actually make this.
This is the laksa paste, which is what gives it its flavour. It reminds me...
Oh, God, you can smell the shrimp paste.
You can smell everything in there, and I make sure I put plenty of that in there. It reminds me of growing up in Malaysia as a little boy. I still go to Malaysian restaurants now and have a big bowl of laksa soup. And the Thai basil, I don't even pull it apart. I just throw it in there like that. It's fantastic. And see the coriander stalks like this? I throw them into the stock pot as well.
See,
I'll keep
the reason why he had the second pot is just to prove the point that we don't waste food here on Good Chef, Bad Chef.
I throw the roots straight into the stock then. That'll help to give it some flavour. And the stems, I throw them into the actual pan here like this because we get flavour out of it.
Snippies?
Yeah, if you can top and tail them and then cut them into a nice shape, maybe diamonds or little strips or whatever you want to do. Why have takeaway when you can make beautiful, delicious laksa like this? I've got some beautiful corn-fed chicken here, and you can tell it's corn-fed because it's nice and yellow. And look at that, the flesh is nice and yellow, and it gives it a great flavour. What I'm going to do is just cut it through the middle here like this, and then slice it again. I'm going to get some large chunks of chicken.
Tofu.
I even succumbed a little bit.
Adrian's recipe, tofu.
I put a little bit of tofu, that's just for you. But what I do is pop the strainer in there. 4 or 5 ladles will be enough to give us enough liquid for our curry laksa.
Sure.
There we go, straight in there like that. Now all we have to do is let that simmer for a couple more minutes. Then we'll add the rest of our ingredients, add the noodles, and we'll finish off the curry laksa. OK, Zoe, the prawns are just about cooked. They only need a couple of minutes in there. So I'll put some fresh coriander into there now and a good squeeze of lime juice. Now, Zoe, I've got the 2 bowls in front of you and the noodles are ready. If you can put some noodles in both bowls for me, that'd be fantastic. And I'll just stir this coriander into it. Look at that, noodles are great up there. They're cooked all the way through.
Great, it's a really simple approach to it. You could have used the kettle, like we said before, instead of the other pot.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. I am cheating just a little bit, but
it's good.
It wouldn't be me if I wasn't cheating just a bit, would it? Now, what I'll do with these is I've got some lovely fresh bean shoots. Look at that. And with bean shoots, the trick is to just buy them on the day. And that way they're nice and fresh. I will add a little bit of coconut cream into the actual laksa soup here. Yep. I'll stir that into it. And I always save
one of my favourite ingredients.
So we can just, I got that for you, so you can just put some of that into yours. I'll put some prawns in here onto yours. Hopefully I don't spill it everywhere. I like to put the noodles in first and then ladle everything on top of it.
Nice.
And that way it sort of soaks in.
It looks beautiful. Colour's great.
Now, there we go.
Really lovely. Can't wait to eat it.
I'll put one of these little eggs there, some deep fried shallots on there as well, and then I'll just pour just a tiny little bit of coconut cream on the top there as a garnish. What do you think of that?
Nice.
Now,
I'm sorry.
Grab my one there as well, and I've saved a few extra prawns for me because I don't want to overdo it. You know, you're always talking about portion control, so I reckon about 4 or 5 prawns for me and maybe 1 or 2 for you. What do you think? Is that fair?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go with it.
Here we go. I'll ladle that on there. Looks great. It's got that lovely colour to it.
It does.
And the thing you notice about a curry laksa is that sort of chili oil on top of it. That's it. Just put a little tiny bit of that on there. Not too much, Zoe.
And then what are you saying? Sorry. What's going on here?
I asked for that, didn't I? There we go. I'll pour some coconut cream on the top of it to hide it. Oh, Zoe, you're trying to nail me now. There we go. I'll grab your spoon there and some deep fried shallots on there for me for a nice bit of crunch.
Now, I want to try the broth first because for me, that's it when it comes to laksa.
There we go. Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, that's really good. It's actually, believe it or not too salty. I was a bit nervous it was going to be over-seasoned for me. It's just got that right balance of sort of richness from the coconut and all those herbs and spices. And
look at that big chunk of corn-fed chicken.
Yum. You know what? This is a great start to the 1-pot, maybe 3-pot versions today.